Have you ever been so attracted to someone that you were tempted to stray from the straight and narrow? Or perhaps you simply couldn't relinquish the dice at the table no matter how much debt you'd already accumulated. If so, good news, you may not have been entirely at fault. Texts dating back thousands of years tell us that carnal desire and serial gambling are the work of a demon, some describe as a prince of hell, a terrifying three-headed monster named Asmodeus, the demon who spits fire and travels by dragon. With his wife, Lilith, the queen of vampires, Asmodeus perpetually spawns new demons to bring chaos to the world, inciting lechery and excess wherever they roam. Let's dive into the myths, legends, fables, and sacred texts to answer the hellishly burning question: who was Lilith's husband, Asmodeus the lust demon? He is the son of Adam and the angel of harlotry. The exact origins of countless ancient gods, demons, jinn, giants, and heroes have been lost to time or blurred from its annals. But the tales of some other entities have been passed down through generations, sometimes merging with similar figures in different cultures. Asmodeus is one of the latter. In some depictions, Asmodeus is a creation of God and was one of the fallen angels who followed Lucifer in rebelling against the Lord. In the Talmud, however, which collects rabbinical discussions of Jewish law, Asmodeus, or Asmodai in Hebrew, is depicted as the son of Adam and Nama. He is one of the four angels of sacred harlotry and was conceived before the creation of Eve. He is the husband of Lilith, the first woman. According to the Christian Bible, Eve is the first woman, formed from Adam's rib to be his consort. But the ancient alphabet of Ben Sira describes Lilith as the first woman, created at the same time as Adam, to be his equal. When she refuses to lie beneath Adam, Lilith flees from the Garden of Eden and refuses to return. God curses Lilith for her defiance, and as such, Hebraic tradition depicts her as a temptress and slayer of children. She eventually marries Asmodeus, himself a tempter and demon of lust, and together they endlessly procreate demonic offspring to spread chaos throughout the world. Of those children, 100 of them must perish each day to satisfy Lilith's pact with God and the angels Senoi, Sansonoi, and Smangeloth, who were tasked with bringing her back to Eden. Various incarnations of Asmodeus depict the demon as an attractive young man who limps because one of his legs is that of a rooster. The most common depiction of the beast comes from the 1863 edition of the Dictionnaire Infernal by Colin de Plancy. The illustration, by French maritime painter Louis Le Breton, depicts Asmodeus with the chest and head of a fire-breathing, sharp-toothed, pointy-eared man wearing a crown, while the heads of a ram and a bull protrude from his shoulders. Like other depictions, Le Breton's includes a rooster leg, as well as the tail of a serpent. Asmodeus roams the earth atop a dragon with a lion's body. The creatures associated with Asmodeus are often connected to lust, a sin for which the demon is particularly known. He is one of the 7 princes of hell responsible for the 7 cardinal sins. Asmodeus has always been associated with lust. The demon tells King Solomon in the 1st century CE apocryphal testament of Solomon that his business is to plot against the newly wedded, by driving husbands into fits of madness and desire, causing them to cheat on their wives with other women. In that text, he is referred to as the king of demons, but medieval scholars classified Asmodeus as merely one of the 7 archdemons of hell. As such, he is one of those responsible for the 7 cardinal sins that tempt humans into the ruin of their souls. In this hierarchy, Asmodeus's dominion is lechery. He causes performance issues when men are with their wives and induces their attraction to other women. He slew a woman's 7 husbands to preserve her purity. In the apocryphal Book of Tobit, dating back to the 3rd century BCE, Asmodeus covets the young maiden Sarah of Media that he appears on her wedding night to slay her new husband before their marriage can be consummated, thus preserving her virginity. Asmodeus eliminates 7 of her husbands in total. Sarah is finally free to consummate her marriage to her 8th husband, Tobiah or Tobias, when the wealthy young Israelite is instructed by the archangel Raphael to drive the demon from the bridal chamber using the heart and liver of a great fish. During the 4th year of his reign as king of the United Kingdom of Israel and Judah, Solomon, son of David, began construction of the first temple in Jerusalem. Hebrew scholars contend the temple was built by a massive workforce comprised of over 150,000 Jewish people, but the apocryphal testament of Solomon explains human labor alone was unable to complete the temple. The Torah forbids the use of iron tools to create an altar. But one tale describes how the restriction was bypassed. In the story, Solomon controls Asmodeus with a magic ring gifted to him by angels. Solomon commands the demon to find the shamir, a stone supposedly used by Moses that miraculously could cut through any material. Asmodeus discovers the shamir in a bird's nest and reveals its location to Solomon, who recovers the stone and uses it to complete the temple. According to Judaic scriptures, after completing his temple with the aid of Asmodeus, King Solomon refuses to release the demon. Bound by the power of Solomon's seal ring, on which God's name is inscribed, Asmodeus is diminished and unable to make his escape. Over time, Solomon begins to doubt the demon's powers and mocks him. Asmodeus challenges Solomon to remove his ring so he can show the king his true power. When Solomon obliges, Asmodeus plucks him from the ground and throws him 400 parasangs away, roughly 1,200 miles. While Solomon is off wandering, Asmodeus assumes the throne in his form and rules Israel and Judah for 3 years until Solomon's return. One of the most notorious cases of mass possession is attributed to Asmodeus. The convent of Ursulines in Loudun, France, was reportedly the scene of a terrifying outbreak of demonic possession in 1633. Nearly every one of the order's nuns began exhibiting signs of possession, including speaking in tongues and expressing disturbing fantasies. This allegedly occurred after Mother Superior Jeanne des Anges and 5 other nuns fell under the sway of the handsome new parish priest, Father Urbain Grandier. The nuns claimed Grandier summoned the demons Asmodeus and Zabulon to the convent. Grandier was eventually tried for witchcraft and burned. His pact with Satan was supposedly given to the prosecution by Asmodeus himself and survives to this day in the Bibliothèque Nationale in Paris. Though he is primarily associated with lust, other vices also fall under Asmodeus's dominion. In the 1486 treatise Malleus Maleficarum, Latin for The Hammer of Witches, by Heinrich Kramer and Jacob Sprenger, Asmodeus is said to command 72 legions of demons and to be the arbiter of all the betting houses in hell. And just as he inspires lust in humans, Asmodeus similarly incites gambling, driving people to compulsion and, ultimately, ruination. He must tell the truth if summoned or freed from enchantment. If one is foolish enough to summon Asmodeus or free him from magical enchantment, the summoner can count on one thing: the demon is bound to tell the truth. Though sometimes depicted as analogous to Satan, whom the Bible calls a liar and the father of lies, Asmodeus prides himself on keeping his word. In Asmodeus, or The Devil on Two Sticks by Alain René Lesage, first published in 1707, the demon entreats Leandro Perez to free him from an enchanted vial, promising knowledge and riches in return. When Perez expresses doubt that he can trust the word of a demon, Asmodeus replies, "The greater part of my brethren think no more of breaking their word than a minister of state. But for myself, not to mention the service you are about to render me, in which I can never sufficiently repay, I am enslaved to my engagements, and I swear by all the devil holds sacred, that I will not deceive you." Just as each month of the year is assigned its guardian angel, the calendar is also divided into demonic houses. Asmodeus is said to maintain dominion over the month of November, in opposition to Adnakil, ruler of the Order of Angels. Some say Asmodeus's skills of persuasion and corruption are at their zenith when the sun transits the constellation of Scorpio. Others claim his powers peak again when the sun transits Aquarius, but only between January 30th and February 8th. Overall, Asmodeus is a complex and enigmatic figure in demonology, synonymous with the dark and alluring aspects of human desire and temptation. He is a potent symbol of the dangers of unchecked lust and the power of manipulation, and his marriage to Lilith further solidifies his status as a prominent and influential figure in the realm of demons.